See, I'ma do this right, never ever could I do this if force. While increasing the funds, we're still checking the scores. Whether it's high goals galore or we're coming up short, still the passion is up in arms, loud as hell to the core. Analysis along with stats, now Jerry runs through that. While G's keeping it G, we'll play a race with facts. No cap, we keep it thorough, keep it true. But every borough tuning into the pieces of true clean. See, you're tuning to the pitch. Talking ballers, goal stats or kits that keep it fly for every player, balling slick. See, you're tuning to the pitch. Talking all the fundamentals of the sport we love. Perfect show, feeling flow. See, you're tuning to the pitch. See, you're tuning to the pitch. We welcome you to the pitch.
Telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's when she telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She telling me to come forward, come for me. I don't know why. Finally now I just spoke my mind. I know it's long since we spoke sometime, but this thing no play, I go change your mind. Just give me some time, really please. Cause I don't have no time to waste. No more back and forth just like Aaliyah. That's all I wanna do right now. Grab it up. So you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body make a bend up on that reeling. Bad man turn you over like a steering. Well, when me gonna grab it up. So you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body make a bend over there reeling. Bad man turn you over like a steering. But she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just killed it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system since move back to left. You don't want to change from the 4-3-3.
Boom, boom, boom. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, people? We're back again on the Jerry James Show for another preview. Yes, the first preview after the international break. Finally, we get some LFC content. We get to watch some LFC, man. I don't know about you guys, but if there's no major tournament on, international football really bores the hell out of me, man. I start to question, do I even like football? That's how deep it gets. But people, we're back. We've got another preview, and the Reds take on Wolves at the Molyneux. 12:30 kickoff tomorrow. We know about 12:30 kickoffs and LFC. I mean, I don't want to say too much because I don't know if anyone watched the press conference, but James Pearce got a bollocking from Klopp. You know what I mean? He got a bit of a walloping. So for me, I'm going to stay away from that kind of narrative. But big up to everyone in the building. Hope you're having a great Friday. Guys, anytime I get in front of the camera, please make sure we are smashing a like. We are en route to 200 million subscribers, people. Yes. So everyone that's in the building right now, if you're watching this on the replay, please smash the like button. Smash it. The more people hit the like button, the more people go and see it. Henceforth, the more people subscribe And then the less of you have got a like. Wink, not really, but you know what I'm talking about. But a big up to your damn selves. Yeah, subscribe, like, and all them things there. I'm going to get into the people in the building now before we get into anything. We've got Ensman in the building saying, big up, brother, great stream. Big up to Ends, hope you're doing well. We've got John in the building saying, finally, I can tune in at work right now. Locked in. I'm locked in. Let's go. Like up the stream on entry, people. That's what he's asking for. And that's what I'm asking for as well, man. We got Dustin F. Ante saying, big up to yourself. We got LVFC TV. Big up JJ. Big up the chat. Make sure we are smashing the likes. Big up to Baz. Hope you're doing well. Make sure we are smashing the likes, people. He's got his popcorn out, so big up. We got Andy Vernari in the building as well. Big up to Andy Vernari. We got Saeed in the building as well saying, I'm on time today. Big up to Saeed, man. I expect you to be popping off in the comments then. We've got Honesty in the building as well. And we've got KLFC as well. We've got many more. So, guys, make sure we're smashing the likes. But, people, Liverpool against Molyneux. I mean, look, on paper, it seems a very, very easy game. If we were to go and look at kind of our history with Wolves, we're more or less really dominant against Wolves. Wolves are going through their kind of terrible time at the moment. Lopetegui being obviously, and Lopetegui obviously missing out on his, obviously missing out on his transfers, and as a result, being obviously told to do one him asking to kind of do one. He leaves. O'Neill comes in, ex-Bournemouth manager. And yeah, they're just a bit all over the place. You know, they lost Matheus Nunes really late in the window. They didn't want to go and have to do that. And he's obviously gone to Man City, lost Ruben Neves in the summer as well. So there's a massive hole in that midfield that they lost. João Moutinho, another one that, you know, left on the expiry of his contract, left to go back to Portugal. So their team is very different, man. Very different. They're going through their own struggles. However, they can still pose a problem, man. They can pose a problem. We've seen against United how the likes of the midfield, I know it was Matheus Nunes still in there, but Cunha, Hwang, Pedro Neto caused a lot of issues in the transition. And knowing our kind of defensive kind of mishaps in general, and knowing that we've got a lot of injury concerns surrounding the defense, which we're going to get into, it is going to be a very tricky game. Before we're getting into it as well, Saeed saying, we don't speak of the previous game here. Big up to yourself. Andy Renari talking about, the fact that, they have some weapons like Neto and Cunha, 100%. Big up to Pooligans, hope you're doing well. We've got Honesty saying, finally, LFC's back tomorrow. Who is the idiot who thought that after 4 matches to have international break? That person's a bozo. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. But, yeah, look, we're going to get into it. And the first thing that we're going to do is... Bear me 2 seconds. I'm going to get some stats up that I managed to actually curate regarding the game. Let's go here. Yeah. So Wolves beat Liverpool 3-0 at the Molyneux last season, and in a run of 6 consecutive home league defeats against the Reds. They have last 1 consecutive home games against them between February 1980 and August 1981, which was a run of 3. Wolves were a very decent team back then. As we know, we lost to them last season at the Molyneux. Our season was very terrible. The Molyneux has been a place where it's been a problem for us before. However, this is ending a run of 6 consecutive home league defeats. On the face of it, out of 7 games, we've won 6 and lost 1. The odds do stack up in our favour. Liverpool have won 12 of their last 13 league games against Wolves, with the exception being the 3-0 defeat, as we mentioned. So, boy, out of 13 games, we've won 12. Again, look, stats-wise, if you're a betting man, you'd be right to bet on Liverpool to win this game. Wolves have just scored 12 goals in the last 23 league games against Liverpool, with 25% of those home strikes coming in last season, 3-0 home win. So again, Wolves not really being able to score against Liverpool, which is a massive problem, and it's a problem they're having at this moment in time. You know, Raul Jimenez leaving, not really getting a striker in. The likes of Pedro Gonçalves, Neto, Hwang, Cunha, whoever's, and Kalajic, not really setting the world alight in terms of goals. So that is a massive problem for Wolves. And I think that's something that Liverpool are going to be able to capitalise, and it may aid us with our defensive mishaps and our defensive kind of injuries that we've got at the moment. Wolves have won just 2 of their last 37 Premier League games when they've conceded at least 1 goal, winning 2-1 at Everton and Southampton last season. They're winless in their last 14 when failing to keep a clean sheet. And that is a massive, massive plus for Liverpool. I mean, when we're talking about Liverpool, the one thing that you can bank on Liverpool doing is scoring a goal, even if it's one goal. It might even be one goal. But as we see here, if Wolves has conceded, they've only won 2 of the last 37 games. It will take a massive, massive feat for them to win this game, especially, you know, trying to bed in new players, a new manager coming in. You know, having quite a tumultuous time. You know, I think they spent over 180 million last summer and in the January transfer window combined. None of these players have set the league alight. They were bottom of the table at January. In January, sorry. So they are in a massive, massive, do you know what I mean, heap of trouble. And FFPs, do you know what I mean, there's rumours of FFP going to be raining down on them because they're unable to sell their players for sufficient funds. So it's going to be really, really interesting, man. Really interesting. Liverpool are unbeaten in their last 15 Premier League games, winning 10 and drawing 5. The longest ongoing run in the competition. It's their 5th separate run of 15-plus games without a defeat since Jurgen Klopp took charge in October 2015, with only Man City having more such runs in that time, which is 7. So, guys, for any kind of, I mean, top Reds or people that are really, really optimistic, that does suggest that Liverpool might be onto something. They actually might be onto something. 3 of Wolves' 4 Premier League goals so far this campaign have come via substitutes. Hwang Hee-chan with 2 and Sasha Kalajic with 1. Indeed, since the start of last season, Wolves have scored the highest share of their Premier League goals from the bench, with 29% coming from the bench. So, yeah, it's not looking good for them. 3 of Wolves' 4 Premier League goals this season have been assisted by Pedro Neto. Again, someone we're going to speak about, Pedro Neto being a massive, massive, massive plus for Wolves. Obviously, Wolves were able to keep him as a result of that mad injury. Anyone that watches Kopish knows that Cal was a massive, massive, massive fan of Pedro Neto. There was rumours that Liverpool were interested in getting Pedro Neto, and Klopp in his press conference was in glowing terms in regards to Pedro Neto. So yeah, that's going to be a massive, massive threat. Only in 2020, 2021 has he provided more in a single campaign with 6. He provided, indeed, this campaign, all 3 assists have been via crosses more than any other player. So crosses are going to be a massive problem for us. The last stat that I've got here is, despite not scoring any of his last 5 Premier League away fixtures, Mohamed Salah has registered 6 assists in his last 4 on the road. Only 3 players in the competition have assisted in 5 successive away games. Mozi Izzet in December 2003, Cesc Fabregas in January 2015, and Gerard Deulofeu in December 2015. So Salah, from a creative standpoint, might not score, but if you're a betting man, you'd be quite correct to put him assisting the goal. It does seem as though he may get an assist this season. But I'm going to get into what you guys are saying now before we get into the game. We got F Jacobs, big up to yourself, saying it's the 12:30 kickoff that got me slightly concerned. Hopefully the 11 on the pitch gets us over the line. Key players out tomorrow. Still buzzing to see the boys go. Let's go. Big up to yourself. We've got honestly saying Neto, San Maximan, Antina, all the same, dribbling, no end product. I mean, Neto's getting assists this season, so not necessarily. We've got John saying Neto ain't really been the same since that injury. I'll be real. 100%. I agree. John saying I'll be expecting Wolves to be in the relegation zone soon. We've got, sorry, I cannot pronounce your name, unfortunately, but big up to yourself saying I think it will be a draw. I do as well. But if we go and have a look, and I'm going to do this now, just share this with you. Full standings. Let me share my screen so we can go and have a look at the league table and see where Wolves currently sit and see their run of form. I think that'd be quite interesting to go and see. Guys, make sure there's 40 of us in the building. Make sure we are smashing a like, please. And if you're new, please subscribe. One more subscriber when we hit 2,100 subscribers. I'll be very, very appreciative of that. Cool. So as we can see, people, Liverpool sitting comfortably in 3rd place. Let me kind of zoom in and see if it works. Cool. Yeah, Liverpool sitting comfortably in 3rd place here. Do you know what I mean? 9 goals scored, 3 against with a goal difference of 6, only bettered by Tottenham and Man City. Arsenal, the supposed challengers this season, are sitting in 5th. Although they have the same amount of points as Liverpool, we've got a better goal difference currently. West Ham as well, very, very, very good and sit level on us with goal difference. However, we've scored... No, we've got a better goal difference than them. The same amount of points along with Arsenal as well. So we've had a really, really good start to the season. A lot of us didn't expect it, me included. I never really expected us to be able to go and do this. As we're seeing here, comparing it to Wolves, in 4 games, Wolves have been able to go and win 1 game, losing 3, no draw so far, scoring 4, conceding 8 with a goal difference of -4 so far, sitting 15th in the Premier League. And do you know what I mean? Only with that win, only, do you know what I mean, keeping them off that near the relegation zone. And yes, they managed to get 1 win. They lost their last game. And I believe their last game, if I'm correct, let me look at Wolves' last game, was to... let's see, matches, see more. 2 seconds, people. In their last game was a loss to Crystal Palace. So that's really, really interesting. Managed to go and beat Everton, losing to obviously Brighton as well, and losing to Man United on an opening day of the season, which technically they should have won, and United did get away with it. So they will pose a problem. However, I am looking at this whole situation, and for me, this is a banker for Liverpool to go and win 100%. And I think there's no point really talking about what Wolves can go and provide. As we know, Hwang might be starting. I think Cunha it can be a problem. However, he's proven that he's not very, very clinical. Neto can create. They've got some decent players, you know. Nouri at left back is a player I'm a fan of. I do really like his offensive game. Defensively, he can get caught lacking sometimes, but he does offer them something different from deep. They have signed the likes of Matt Doherty back from Tottenham after being on loan at Atletico Madrid. So, they're in a sticky situation. But look, they're gonna have to just ride it out. I mean, the likes of Lamina still in midfield. They've got a decent team, Pablo Sarabia. So look, we'll have to wait and see what they can do. But for me, they can cause a problem, man, 100%. What we're going to do now, people, is I'm going to come to you with my predicted lineup. As we know, people, let's go here. Let me see if I can get this up. And I will do from the Liverpool Echo. Why not? So in regards to obviously injuries, the massive plus for us in this game, knowing that Konate was injured in the last it wasn't available for the last game before the international break. Trent picking up an injury as well. Trent still unavailable. It seemed as though Konate wouldn't be. However, Klopp has confirmed that Konate has trained in the past 2 days, has trained the last 2 games as well. So he's a plus for the game. Even if he doesn't start, I think he's someone that could potentially be on the bench, and I think he will be. However, he may start. I do think he would actually start. He could be on the bench. Maybe Klopp trusts Kwanzaa. We're not too sure yet, but he's going to be on the bench. That's a massive plus for Liverpool. When we're looking at that back line, Virgil van Dijk being suspended, as we know, having to pay £100,000 for telling the ref to F off. We're not going to get into that comical kind of, that fast, but it is what it is. As we know, Virgil was obviously suspended. Trent picked up a hamstring injury, so he's recovering from that. Should be good for next week, but right now we're just taking it easy. Konate was an injury doubt. However, he's trained the past 2 days, which suggests to me he will be back in the lineup, and I think Kwanzaa will just be our option on the bench. That means that our potential lineup that could be of, Joe Gomez, Matip, Konate, and Robertson doesn't look as bad. And even if Gomez had to play at centre-back, we know Gomez played really, really well at centre-back in the last game. A lot of people kind of praising Gomez for his performances. So for me, we're not really struggling from that perspective. And especially when the main point, and Klopp did stress this in the press conference, where Liverpool's needs to... Let me change this because I look yellow. Yeah, there we go. Liverpool needs to be able to go and be solid defensively, and that needs to set the foundation for Liverpool to be able to go and do really, really well. So Gomez being at the back, even if it's at right back, we don't mind that. We spoke, of being able to rotate players. And yes, there's an injury which has forced Klopp's hand, and we all would like Trent to start. But hey, having Gomez at right back, it gives us the chance to see what can he provide from that thing, and how does the dynamic going forward from an attacking sense change, because we know. Name me another player that can pass like Trent from that position. There's no one in world football. So we've got a unicorn in our team. We now don't have that unicorn available, but I need to see how this team can perform without him. As we know, our midfield, we've got real attacking force from there. Jones is back in contention as well. Obviously started the last game, which is a massive plus for us. Obviously he had that injury. We thought, oh no, is Jones becoming injury prone again? He's back in, no injury concerns on that front, so that's really good to see. Gravenberch has trained for a whole week now. Obviously stayed at Liverpool, as we all know, neglected and rejected, the Netherlands team, the under-21 call-up, which has obviously sparked a lot of debate. However, it's allowed him to kind of get settled, do little things, and menial things like buy a car, do you know what I mean? Purchase a house or rent a house, get settled. Realize, oh, you know what? I don't need to drive all the way around Nada to get to the training ground. I can take this left here and just acclimatize, get used to the AXA training ground. So he's had a week under his belt just at the AXA ground in Liverpool, which is obviously going to help him acclimatize that much quicker. As we know, Szoboszlai and McAllister still available. McAllister, the issue is, and what we've got with our South American players is that they're coming back from South America and Klopp still hasn't seen them. They returned yesterday night at 4 in the morning. So, 4 in the morning today. So this night. So for me, I'm looking at it and that's a massive worry. Do these South American players play? Do they come and just get straight back into the team? I'm not too sure. I think this is going to be a game where, even though it's an easy game on paper for Liverpool, considering our form, the squad depth is going to be it's going to be tested to the full. And to be fair, it's a great game to go and go and do it. I mean, you couldn't ask for an easier opponent at this moment in time. Maybe Luton, but still, like it's a test, but it's still a test. I think we could pass with flying colours, and I hope we do, man. I hope we do. As we know, Bajcetic back in training, played a couple of minutes for the under-21 for Spain, according to Klopp. So he's potentially someone that could be an option off the bench. Thiago. Boy, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Thiago, for me, needs to get in the mud. Needs to get in the bin. Now, I don't want to hear anyone talk about he's one of the best centre mids that's ever played the game. No, he's not. He had one good season where they won the Champions League, where he was pivotal. The rest of his career, he has never been a pivotal starting player for club or country. Never. He's always averaged 20 games, 15 games, and in a time when Liverpool need to rebuild and you're one of our best players, we need more from you than that. You're not just a luxury player. We're not in the position where we can afford to have luxury players. We need players available, ready to kick on. He's just not available. Yet again, he's running. He was supposed to be back at the end of August, at the beginning of August. Still no sign of him. Hasn't played since February, I believe. At this point in time, he's on 200,000 a week. Just get rid of the brother. But hey, I'm not going to talk about that right now. It's great. He's there. That's all good. I mean, get that Thiago's not available, but it is what it is. We've got the South American. Obviously, we spoke about that. And then going forward, there's no real injury concerns. However, there is the talk of Darwin Núñez being potentially injured. If I go and have a look, actually, let's see if that injury concern is real. Let's go in here. This is a day ago. Let's see the Darwin Núñez injury update. I'm going to get this for you now. 2 seconds, people. What have we got here? Darwin Núñez. Yes, so Darwin Núñez was withdrawn at halftime of Uruguay's 2-1 loss to Ecuador with a muscle problem. As we know, he has to be considered a long shot, which is fair. Luis Diaz as well. They've only come back from their trip from South America, so it's going to be really interesting to obviously go and see what we are going to go and say. But yeah, I'm going to get into what you guys have to say now in regards to the team, and I'm going to give you my predicted lineup for the game, which I'm going to get up right now. We're going to go through it. Big up to yourself. We've got big up to Saeed saying for goal scoring we need Szoboszlai. Special in-swinger from Okora, flicked on and in. I hear you. Big up to Jamrock saying, the Jerry James Show, bless up, Jerry, keep grinding. Big up to yourself if you're doing well. Big up to LRFC, big up JJ, big up yourself. We've got LVFC saying we should have enough to get a result tomorrow. Hopefully we get to see Ryan get a run out. 100%. I'm actually quite excited to go and see that. Big up to Honesty saying, JJ, watching Klopp's press conference, I think none of the South American brothers will play tomorrow. So maybe we'll see Stefan, Curtis Jones, and Endo. Soboslai, maybe, I think. We got Temi Dao saying, feels good to be back from the international break, man. An early kickoff again. 100%, man. We've got Chris McCormick saying, appreciate you, JJ. Big up from Canada. Happy I find the channel. Big up to Chris McCormack, man. I'm not going to lie. When I hear people from different countries, we've got Temi Dao from, I know he's Nigerian. Whether he lives in Nigeria, I don't know, but I know he's Nigerian. We've got Honesty from, is it Belize? I want to say Belize. I might be wrong. But we've got so many people from so many different countries and places. I feel honestly so humbled when I go see that. Jamrock, obviously, from the States as well. So big up to yourself. Temi Dao saying we could well break the curse, but it's not going to be easy. You're talking about, obviously, the 12:30 curse. Yeah, don't say anything to Klopp, though, because he might bite your head off like he did that James Pearce. Big up to Boo Ride in the building. Big up. Haven't seen you in a long time. Guys, smash the like. Big up to yourself. We got Saeed Zaidi saying Mac and Darwin must be tied. Hope we see Kurtz, Endo, and Dom. That we're going to get into that 100%. Frank Carlisle saying the point now, Jerry, is that we can rotate with our quality squad we have now. Hopefully, I mean, this is when our squad's going to be tested. I mean, a lot of people do have questions about the quality of the squad. We have injuries, we have suspensions, we have players that aren't available because of the international break and getting that 12:30 kind of kickoff. Which, you know, if we had a 5:30 kickoff on a Saturday, it would probably change. Do you know what I mean? Our kind of lineup. Klopp being very adamant about that. But hey, we can't say too much on that. All I can say to you is we're going to be tested and hopefully we pass with flying colours. Big up to Stephen the Truth Seeker saying Thiago get rid. 100%, man. We've got Timmy Dow saying, to be fair, Thiago is not doing us any go with this with the wages he's on, plus with his injury record. I agree. We got Boom Boom 43. Big up to yourself saying no need to risk Darwin if he has a niggle. Big enough squad to cover for him in the forward line. 100%. If there's a niggle, when I'm going to show you my predicted lineup, but I 100% agree. You know, we got Temi Dao saying I could be Chinese. You know, listen, man. If you're Chinese, I mean, I could be from anywhere. That's the problem because I wasn't going to say anything. If I'm Chinese, yeah, then Joe Gomez is he's Ukrainian. How about that? We got Stephen True Seeker saying, how many South Americans do we have? Nunes, Diaz, and Mac. Allison. So boy. Dustin F. Ante saying, nah, I'm a big Thiago fan and stan. Yeah, not for me, man. Big up to Boom Boom 43 saying Germany manager knew his goose was cooked when he saw the Japan captain putting in a gun shield for a friendly. 100%, man. Endo's that guy. Endo is that guy. But look, without further ado, cool. As you guys can see, let me just make sure you guys can see it because I'm not here with anyone. No, you can't. There you go. You can. Hold on. What have I done? Cool. We're going to go a 4-3-3, of course, increase that player size, and we're going to go. Now, the question I've got for everyone, right, and I'm actually going to allow you guys to go and pick it. Alisson's one of the South American guys. Went on international break. Does he come back in because he's a keeper? Or do we start Kelleher potentially? That's going to be a massive interesting point. Like, I know there's a whole talk. Obviously, Alisson been amazing for us. He's actually become our third highest, obviously, player as a result, third highest paid player at Liverpool as a result of a trigger being or a clause being activated. So big up to him. Fully deserves it. So he's third, I assume, behind Salah and Virgil. You should potentially be higher. I'm not sure whether Ali started for Brazil, but the problem is if he's coming back at 4 a.m. and Klopp's frustrated at that, that's going to be a massive point. But I agree with Frank Carlisle, man. I think Ali needs to play. Look, we've got Temi Dow as well saying, look, Ali is good, no point. Why was he invited in the first place? Yeah, I'm going to go with Alisson. Although if it wouldn't be surprising, but it would mean that we've got a lot of players that are struggling, for Liverpool. So in regards to kind of fitness or even just fatigue from traveling, because you can be jet lagged. We're going to start at left back. I think left back is an easy pick. I think Robertson's was fantastic in the last game. Absolutely fantastic. I think showed everyone that he can play that more of a kind of defensive three at the back when we're in possessions. That's really, really good. He's actually getting better with his rotations, and he's showing that he can be an asset even when he's not going forward. Had a howler against England. I don't know if anyone's seen it. An absolute howler. Allow Bellingham to go and score his goal and give Bellingham the headlights. I don't know if he's still in a delusion that Bellingham plays for us. I don't know whether he tried to assist him on the international break. But hey, I'm going to try ignore that. Tsimikas hasn't really had a sniff yet. And I think Robertson comes in. I think we need to keep some stability. At left centre-back, I'm going to go with Konate. Konate plays on the left, has played on the left before, especially when he's partnered with Matip, who is his partner. I think, considering Konate's had 2 training sessions and they were just full-blown training sessions, I think he's available, he's fit. I think he comes back in. I think Matip starts at right centre-back. And I think we see Gomez play at right-back. Now, I've got a question. Would you guys prefer to see Endo at right-back or something mad like that? We spoke about him coming in to do that Milner role or that Henderson role. If that's the case, does he play at right back? Does he potentially come in and fill in that spot and give us something different in terms of coming into midfield and rotating? And do we keep the same backline that we did that played so well in the absence of Virgin Konate, of Gomez and Matip against Aston Villa? I'm not too sure, so I'm going to go with this one. But that's obviously a point to go and pick. I think the South American players aren't available, and I'm going to go based off that. So for me, Curtis Jones, I think is very, very telling that after his injury, Curtis Jones goes straight back into the lineup. I think it suggests that Klopp has a massive kind of, he's got massive faith in Curtis Jones. We didn't see Endo come into that lineup. So I think Curtis Jones is going to play a massive part this season if he can stay fit. I think Klopp's trusting him now, finally, especially in that left centre mid role. In the DM, we've seen McAllister play there in the last 4 games. Well, not 4 games because Endo went and played and came off. But regardless, he didn't. He came on at Newcastle, and then he started at he started at Bournemouth, but came on at Newcastle, right? If I'm correct. Yes, that's what it was. But yeah, so not, or it might have been the other way around. I can't even remember. But look, Endo, for me, he starts. I think great game against Germany. Klopp would have been watching that, especially it being Germany. Rumors of Klopp, being linked with that Germany national team. So he's probably watching, and that kind of put him off seeing Kai Havertz up front, Timo Werner on the left, thinking, hey, I'm not really feeling this team. I'm not going to lie to you. So for me, I think Endo comes in. These are the games we brought him in for. Endo starts in the DM, and I think a banker, our main man right now, at right centre mid, we've got Dominic Szoboszlai, won the goal, man of the match for me in the last outing against Aston Villa, keeps his place, great performances at the international break. I'm raring to go and see him again. Really, really happy to go and see him. As we know, I think Salah goes and plays. He's available, firing and fit. I think it will be a forward line, which the last time we saw this forward line was in pre-season, actually. Is Gakpo actually being given a chance as a result to the kind of Nunes niggle, which I think is a niggle. And even if Nunes is available, even if he was available and he didn't play for Uruguay and wasn't from the South America region, I think he'd still be on the bench for this game. I think Jota comes in as a result to Diaz and the traveling that Diaz has had to make from Colombia. And so Jota, Gakpo, Salah. So for me, this is the team that we're going to see against Wolves. We're really, really testing our kind of our squad depth here, seeing how can Jota go and perform, how can Gakpo go and perform. Jota started a few games, and so has Gakpo this season. So really interesting to go and see. big game for Endo again. Can he kind of cement his place as a DM and really allow McAllister to compete with Curtis Jones for that left-sided midfielder spot, which is hopefully going to elevate both players' obviously ability. Gomez, can he offer us something different at that right-back spot? Can he show us that he's got the attacking intensity, but also the defensive kind of stability that sometimes Trent doesn't give us because of the way he goes and plays? So for me, I'm 100% going like this. Honestly saying, I would switch Gakpo and Jota. I hear you. I just don't think Klopp will do that. I think Klopp does not like Gakpo on the left as much as he likes him down the middle. We also see Temi Dyer saying Elliot could well get a nod. Maybe so. Maybe Elliot could get a nod. Maybe we see something like mad. Maybe we see something like this. Maybe we see something like that. And we've seen that in pre-season where Jones played a bit deeper. That's going to be very telling for me if Endo isn't playing in that role. I think it's going to be very, very interesting to go and see, because I think it will suggest to me how Klopp is rating him or how he's settling in. Big up to Jam saying no Gravenberch. I don't think Gravenberch's going to start. I think he's going to be on the bench. I think he's going to come on probably 60th minute, regardless whether we're winning or losing. But for me, yeah, I'll go with that. But for me, I don't know. I could personally go with Jones on the left with Endo in the DM, but we might see something like this, and it'll be really interesting to see if we go and do that. But I'm gonna remove that before anyone kind of clips me up and thinks, yeah, that's gonna be me. Guys, make sure we are smashing a like, please, as well, for any new viewers that have just come in. But yeah, that's my team. That's my team. I think what we're seeing from here as well is that in this situation, if we're going and doing this inverted thing, which we're going to go and do, I think Jota will keep his width, will come in. I think Jones will actually have a lot of width for us. He will allow Szoboszlai to come inside like that. And it really might be something like this at times. It might be something like, because I don't see Gomez doing the inverted. So if we were to go inverted, I do think it could be something along the lines of this. Jota dropping in here, Gakpo dropping in a bit deeper here, Szoboszlai covering the right like he has done, and it being something like that. And I think our average positions might even end up being like this. So make sure we're here for make sure we're here for the for obviously the match reaction, or for the watch along as well. Because in the watch along, we're going to obviously be discussing this. But for me, I think that if we're doing the inverted thing, Robertson's the only one that have the back line that can go and do that. And even if he's not going to be in there to kind of get on the ball, is to cover the space and almost create this box between Endo, Konate, Gomez, and Robertson. Do you know what I mean? Blocking the defense. So for me, and kind of blocking the midfield area. So for me, it could potentially be something like that. So yeah, let me know. So that's obviously my lineup for the game. I want to know what you guys think about the lineup. So in the comments after the video, when the video is done, please let me know what your lineup will be, a potential lineup, and do you know what I mean, as well as the score predictions, which we're obviously going to get to now before I get into the comments. We got Frank saying good choice midfield. Big up to yourself. Saeed saying Jones is fantastic. He gets to start. Honestly saying saying JJ, did Salah play international game for Egypt? Yes, he did, and they lost. They lost to Tunisia. I think it was Hannibal that celebrated, done a celebration in front of him. Big up to Don Cognon becoming a member on the channel. Big up to yourself. Massive, massive appreciation. Yeah, as you know, the memberships are here. As you might have heard, I dropped the intro to what's coming on the members show. I've dropped it, and I'm going to drop it. I dropped it at the beginning of the video. I'm going to drop it midway through here as well before we leave. I'm going to exit the thing. I'm going to play the tune, and then, yeah, if you want more content, the content is coming. I'm waiting for G to be able to announce what we're doing, but we're there. Like I said, any member that's here, we're much, much, much appreciated. There's going to be a lot of content coming out, giveaways as well. So look, there should be a join link somewhere on YouTube. So please, please click that. Massive, massive thank you for Don Cognon becoming a member. We got Saeed saying 100% my lineup. Big up to yourself. Frank Cowler saying the Gravs will come at some point. The Gravers will come at some point. Jerry Jones also is a must start in midfield. Yeah, I believe he will come on. Honestly saying, JJ, why can't Jones play as our left wing and we put Bajcetic in the midfield? For me, Curtis Jones offers more than Jota as a winger. Doesn't offer the goals though, man. Doesn't offer the goals. Doesn't offer the goals for me. Glasgow saying, big up Jerry, respect as always, man. Big up to yourself. Big up to yourself. Yeah, Tunisia as well. Temile saying, the tactician. Of course, I'm a tactician. But yeah, so score predictions now before we head out. For me, I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Liverpool. I think we will concede. We've only conceded 3 goals in the Premier League this season. So did we concede against Aston Villa? No, we didn't. So yeah, we've conceded 3 goals. So it was really, really good to get a clean sheet against Aston Villa. Great performance. I'm not sure whether we can build on that because we haven't got a solid base again. I think there's still a potential for us to concede, and I think it's very likely we concede if we look at our past kind of 4 games. But I think we're going to trump. I think we're going to destroy Wolves. I think Wolves are in a very, very sticky situation. They're struggling to score, struggling to create chances. One of their better midfielders has left. So they haven't got a gaping hole because they have recruited, and they've recruited decently, and it's still to be seen whether they can, provide a consistent basis for the team to get some results, whether they're draws and just kind of win, get a couple of wins on the way. But for me, this is a banker for Liverpool. So for me, great. Liverpool 3-1 win for me. I need to know what you guys are saying. We've got Stephen Truth Seeker saying 3-2 Liverpool. We've got John Moore from the Glasgow Reds. Big up to yourself saying 2-0 Liverpool as well. Guys, let me know what you guys think in terms of the score sheet. And the scoreline as well. We've got Frank Carlisle saying, great pod, Jerry. Well done, mate. Big up. I appreciate it. And I agree with your lineups. 2-0 to Liverpool against Wolves. Yes, so very, very similar. I think we will concede. I think we'll score more, but concede. So big up to Promo in the building. Promo saying 2-1 Liverpool as well. So a lot of us are considering a win. Big up to Michael Talks Football. Big up to yourself as well. And yeah, it's looking really, 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 really promising. I mean, I'm interested to see Gravenberch as well. I think that's a massive, massive plus. Before I head out, I'm actually going to, guys, let you know who I think is my the first scorer. I think who's going to score the first goal for Liverpool. I'm going to go Salah. I'm going to go Salah. I think Salah, he needs to score for us now, and I think it's been a long while. He's been assisting a lot. If you're a betting man, bet on Salah to assist at this moment in time. Because the goals they're not coming too easy at the moment. He's struggling, missing penalties, hitting the crossbar against Chelsea, still playing really, really well. But for me, I need to see Salah score now and be really, really happy to see Salah getting in goal. We've got Promo saying Gakpo, Michael Talk saying Salah as well. We've got Blue Cheese, No Fleas saying 3-1 Liverpool. Yeah, you're on my wavelength. Big up to yourself, Promo as well. We got Jam saying, do you think we defend better without Virgil? I think people up their game a bit more because they're not relying on Virgil. I think if we're using that one game and it's a small sample size, Robertson played better than he has done with Virgil all season because he's had to stay a bit deeper, and I think he's a bit more conservative. So it's interesting to obviously go and see. Michael saying, ain't no way Alexis starts man was in the mountains. 100%. We got Honestly saying 4-1 LFC. Salah, Gakpo, Szoboszlai, and Curtis Jones for them out of a corner are amazing. If I could see Curtis Jones get a goal, that's amazing, man. I'm like Curtis Jones' team. We've got Jota saying Jota against his old club. Yeah, maybe Jota turns up against his big club. Maybe he does, man. So look, that's obviously what I think. We got a Blue Cheese saying, do you think Gravenberch could transform this midfield even more? I think what it does is, if we've got a midfield of even like Curtis Jones at his best, or Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai, they're all players that can rotate. So if they're all rotating, you're adopting this kind of total football style of play, which is, idealistically, it's amazing. It sounds really good, having players that are equally as good going forward as they are going back, can all cover for each other. They're symbiotic in how they move. Whether we can produce that, I'm not too sure. How good Gravenberch can be for Liverpool, I'm not even too sure, because I'm basing it on what he's done for Ajax, and that was 2 years ago now. I'm really just interested to see how he kind of fits in for Liverpool as well. Michael Talks obviously saying, look, we better get some revenge for Wolves as they destroyed us last year. 100%. That game was horrific to watch. I remember that. It hurt. But look, people, it's been the Jerry James Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to head out now, but I'm obviously going to go and play the intro tune for whatever you guys want to go and call it. Just stay tuned for it. The members are going to go and get it. And please, 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 just have a search on like socials and stuff for get some clues from the intro. And if you're feeling anything, get some clues and start following that up, because listen, it's going to be a massive, massive, massive project. But stay tuned, stay blessed. It's been the J James Show, and we're out. Boom.
See, I'ma do this right, never ever could I do this if force. While increasing the funds, we're still checking the scores. Whether it's high goals galore or we're coming up short, still the passion is up in arms, loud as hell to the core. Analysis along with stats, now Jerry runs through that. While G's keeping it G, we're player race with facts. No cap, we keep it thorough, keep it true for every borough. Tuning into the pieces of true kings, see you're tuning to the pitch. Talking ballers, goal stats or kits that keep it fly for every player, balling slick. See you're tuning to the pitch. Talking all the fundamentals of the sport we love, perfect show, feeling flow. See you're tuning to the pitch. See you're tuning to the pitch. We welcome you to the pitch.